Welcome to DowerChin.com. Today we're going to take a look at a case. This is the flip turn case for the iPad Air and Air 2. This is the black one. It actually is very similar to, well, actually it's the exact same type of keyboard case that I reviewed for my Mini. And what this is basically it is a keyboard for the Bluetooth keyboard for the iPad Air 2. But the interesting thing about this is that there's a swivel point here, making it into sort of like a convertible laptop, like the good old tablet PCs beforehand. And so let's take a look at it. Let's open the box, see what you get inside it, and let's put my iPad into it, and let's see what it's like. Alright, let's take a look at and see what we get inside the box. The box itself is relatively nondescript, doesn't give a lot of detail, just the name of the device, and then the picture. So we'll open it up and let's see what we get inside. Alright, let's see, we have the case here. And this is interesting, this is a spacer. Looks like a little foam spacer thing for the iPad Air 2. And it's probably there, I'm pretty sure it's probably because the iPad Air 2 itself is thinner than the original Air. So this might actually need to be there just to give it extra space so it doesn't fall out. And what else we got? We have a manual. It talks about it. Part for pairing it up, how to pair it up, and some of the functions of the keyboard itself. And under here, what do we have? We have just the micro USB cable for charging. So let's put this to the side, put these to the side, and put this away because I'm going to need this since I'm going to use my iPad Air 2 with it. And let's take a look at the keyboard case. Alright, so this is a kind of rubberized plastic. So it's not slippery, it's a little bit grippy. There's some feet here, if you can see, for the keyboard portion of it. We're cracking it open, we see the keys. It's got full layout here. What's nice is that the arrow keys are inverted T, which is really good. It's got an off switch. Let's look at the pair button. There's some LED indicators for battery. There's like caps lock and a Bluetooth indicator. And then of course this is the whole point of having this is the hinge right here, so you can basically move it around, and it kind of snaps back into the center position, as you can see. Case itself is a typical shell with cutouts here for the various buttons and inputs for the iPad Air 2. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is let's put my iPad into it and let's see how well it goes. Alright, oh, interestingly enough, there's a little something over here in the corner. What is that? That a stylus looks like? Well, yep, so alright, so it's got a little stowage compartment for a stylus. That's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that, but that's got a little rubber tip stylus, so you can stow it away in here, which is kind of neat. So, and right here is the port for the micro USB for charging. So, alright, so let's go put my device in it and see how it works. Okay, so here I have my iPad Air 2, and we have the flip turn case over here. Now what I did is that little funny little disc thing, the little felt foam disc. So I put that in because what you have to do is take this little template that they gave you over here, and you basically take it off. It came on these little things. Took it off, put it on here, and it technically really isn't necessary, but the iPad Air 2 is a little slimmer than the Air 1, and so it actually did fit, but it had a little bit of extra wiggle room in there, and so the foam pad here gives it a little extra space it needs to fill in the case better. So alright, let's put this in, and we'll talk about what it's got. And so I'm going to line it up camera to camera here. So slip it in this way first, and see it kind of clicks in like so. So we see that there's enough room for the volume rockers without any obstruction. The microphone is not blocked at all. So I got clearance for the camera as well as the microphone for the camera. Power button up on top. Interestingly enough, there's cutouts here for microphones that don't exist on the, at least on the Air 2 it doesn't exist. So you got holes there for that. You have a spot there for open for the headphone jack. The only thing that I'll have to complain about mine is that if you see over here, there's a bit of the plastics kind of come up a little bit. It doesn't affect the performance, but that's just something that I noticed on this one. All right, so you can see that you have the clamshell view flipped this way. And something I did in my opening video before was trying to get the stylus out. Instead of flicking out, you just kind of simply push it. Kind of comes out. And push it again. Kind of locks back in place. So that's kind of handy. So I'm going to change angles. And I'm going to go down to a more desk view. And we'll sync this up with the machine. And we will give it a go on some of the programs I have on my iPad Air 2. So one mention here is to get those little feet at the bottom here, so that it has at least some little surface to at least attempt to grip on like a desk or something. So alright, I'll change angles and we'll pair it up and start using it. Okay, so here we have the device now at a desktop level, sort of how you would use it. And let's quickly just pair it up. So I'll lock this guy, I'll go to my settings, and I'll turn this on. And I went to the Bluetooth section already, so now that it's on, I'm going to let's try to do it. So I'm going to hit the Bluetooth button, and you'll see that it starts flashing. And we'll see that on the listing here, let's move this up closer. We'll see Bluetooth keyboard show up. We'll click on that, and now type in the code 5905, enter, and there it is. So it's connected up, Bluetooth keyboard. And indeed, if we go and start using it, the FN, usually looking at the keys up top here, we'll use the FN key to get to the top level of keys here. Like the home button is up here on this tilde key there, or the squiggly key. Brightness, settings, keyboard showing. We have your spotlight search, backlighting, the media keys, as well as volume control, and the delete over here is the lock. Okay, so hitting the FN tilde key there pretty much behaves like the home button, and double tapping it brings up a list of applications that are running. And so, all right, we'll quickly just go and start using it to type on something. Well, let's go back to the menu here. I got my productivity office apps. I'll hit Word, and all right, so I'll start a blank document, and we will start typing. So let's see what we can do here. Let me change the font to a little bit bigger so we can see it. 28 point. Oops. Because like any of these small keyboard, it takes a little bit of getting used to for the feel. Oops. All right. So it feels okay. It's it's a little bit punchy, but it's okay. It feels all right. The keys are a little on the square side, and I have found so far just typing on this thing, the keys tend to feel a little inconsistent in some ways. Some keys feel a little stiffer than others. It doesn't really cause any extra keys to pop up. Like one thing I noticed, that the N is a little more springy than like say like the A key, for example, or these other ones. So that one in particular stands out a bit more than the others. Now the other thing is that one thing, even though it feels that way, it doesn't cause any keys to any letters to appear accidentally, so it's not a problem. So it does work quite nicely. Once again, the inverted arrow keys are a very nice touch. It's always nice to have those to be able to move to and from the different parts of your document. Holding the FN key down for number 1 and 2 will decrease and increase my brightness settings. So you can see there. And then of course there is the backlighting. Also the volume controls, FN, minus, equal, and then 0 for muting altogether. So those are really good. Or if you want to lock it, FN delete to lock. Turn it back on again. I just got my little password thing. There we are. The one thing I did notice is that obviously you have the delete key, which is over here, which actually is a backspace key. And if you actually want to use the delete, it doesn't seem like it has one. At least I haven't seemed to figure out if there is one. So there's a backspace that's labeled delete, but it's not really a backspace. It's a backspace more than a delete, so it won't delete the letters from this side going that way. Well, I mean this side going that way. So it's just basically you only have one direction for the deletion. It won't delete, like, say, the H and E going this way. It'll actually just go back this way. So that's something that you may or may not find problematic. So that's something that is kind of missing. Other LEDs we can talk about here, like the caps lock, is a very bright green. This is the battery indicator for charging, and then of course the Bluetooth light, and of course the button for syncing it up. Let's see, other things we can talk about quickly is the different modes that you can use this at. Now, obviously, this is the standard laptop type mode. It can go, the screen can go pretty far back, and it won't really tilt over. And as you can see, it starts losing its balance a little bit when you get this far back. All right, but you might not be using it that way anyway. So over here, you know, with some vigorous tapping, it does remain in position because there's more weight on this end, which tries to counterbalance the weight of your tapping on the screen. Other ways you can use it, you have your very popular tent mode, which is on a lot of Windows PCs nowadays. The tent mode, this way, or even this configuration, you can use it in this mode, where basically you have the keyboard out back and you can just kind of watch. So it's like a presentation mode here. And obviously, if you flip it all the way down, it's in the tablet mode. So like the good old tablet PCs, the keyboard is hidden, and you have the ability to use it and just heft it around like a regular tablet, and easily flip it around, twist it, and close it. The other nice feature that I indicated before is that the stylus is here. You click it to pop it out, and then you have this little rubber stylus to use. So if I open this up, go back here. You know, you can use this to move around documents, or if I use the FN tilde key to get back over here, I can use this to kind of move around, launch other applications, scroll through things. So it's kind of handy to have. I mean, I'm not a big fan of these kind of styluses, but you know, having it in a nice little stowaway compartment is pretty handy. So it's going to stick back in here and push the button in, and it kind of locks in place. So there you have it. A look at the flip turn keyboard case for the iPad. Oh, and before I go, let's talk about the backlighting. There is the backlighting here. There's settings here for like 4 levels. They're kind of light though. So I'm going to turn the lights off real quick and we'll take a look at the backlighting. So hang on a second. Okay, so here I am sort of in the dark here, and I have the backlighting turned on so we can kind of take a look at it. FN5 dims it, so I'll dim it all the way down, and FN6 brings it back up. So this is level 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. So 4 levels. It works. It's not great. It's not all that bright, actually. I've seen some that are a little bit brighter. Unlike the 8-inch one for the Mini, there's no way to change colors on this. So you're stuck with just the white color here on this keyboard. The lighting is a little inconsistent in some spots. Like you see, there's a lot more bright spots by the space bar here, a little bit darker up here, a little darker up there. So it's not the most best backlighting. It's kind of dark in this area here, but it does fulfill the need for backlighting, so it's still kind of nice to have. So there you have it, a look at backlighting with this keyboard. Let me turn the lights back on and let's close up and summarize. Okay, so there you have it, a look at the flip turn case, keyboard case for the iPad Air and Air 2. It's a very nice little case to have. It's very handy. It gives you a little extra bit of productivity that you can use with your iPad. To actually use it as, well, a convertible laptop in a way. So for documents, email, those kind of things, it's quite handy. And to be able to basically turn it around, flip it around, and use it, you know, pretty much like a replacement for your laptop. If you have any questions about something, or questions about this or other products I have, questions about how this works, any questions that I did not answer, or things you want to see, you know, subscribe, send me some feedback, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Thanks for watching.